Yes, ma'am.
All right, I think we're good to go. So let's go get started.
Just one moment. We're still waiting to get the all clear.
Oh, okay. As you were. Chill out.
We're good to start.
All right, very good. Okay, let's do it then.
Introductions from the plaintiff.
Perfect. Let's do it.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. My name is Max Hughes. To my left is my co-counsel, Ms. Emberlyn St. Hilaire.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Behind me are my co-counsels, Mr. Anderson Lynch
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
and Mr. Zach Nemec.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Together, we represent the plaintiff, Ms. Eli Bullock.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
After the defense has a chance to make their introductions, we have a couple of housekeeping matters for the court.
Perfect.
Introductions from the defense, Your Honor.
Yes, go ahead.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. My name is Lydia Ferris. Today I'm joined by a couple of colleagues, Ms. Hannah Lay
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon.
and Mr. Avon French.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon.
Together, Your Honor, we represent the defendant in this trial, Mr. Tristan Nichols.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon.
And then, Your Honor, we may have a couple of housekeeping matters pending what the plaintiff has in this case.
Okay, perfect. All right, well, let's start with plaintiff then.
Yes, Your Honor. We'd like to draw your attention to three matters that both parties have already stipulated and agreed to before trial.
Okay.
First, the parties have agreed to pre-admit two exhibits today.
Okay.
They're numbered exhibits 1 and 2. That's the prenuptial agreement between the plaintiff and defendant today and a financial disclosure form filled out by the defendant.
Okay.
Next, the parties have agreed to waive all objections under relevance or Rule 403
Yep.
to the testimony of Gail, Melky, and Ash Sanders.
Okay.
We expect both of those witnesses will be called to the stand today.
Okay.
Next, both parties have stipulated that any callable witnesses' gender identity or sexual orientation would not preclude them from a romantic relationship with any other callable witness today.
Okay.
With that, Your Honor, we're ready for trial.
Okay, perfect. Anything else from the defense?
We've got just one thing, Your Honor. It's actually going to be about a case law. I'm not sure if you've got the case documents with you.
We do not, so any help we can provide is useful.
Oh, it's right up there.
There's a line here. I can grab it for you.
Yeah, and I'm
It
about
should
the
just be
same
the first
height as
page of the
this.
case law.
Thank you. Okay.
Your Honor, would you like me to wait or just go ahead and let you know a little about the case law?
So did you say, let me go ahead and find it first. Did you
Okay.
say it's on the first page?
Yes, first page, Sharp v. Olmsted.
Oh, okay. Perfect. All right, go ahead.
Now, Your Honor, for context in this case, we're going to be pursuing an affirmative defense, arguing that in this marriage, it was actually a contract marriage to begin with.
Okay.
That case law only outlines that in this case, when there is a contract marriage, it makes any kind of morality clause, and in this case, an infidelity clause, no longer enforceable. We'd just like to put the court on notice with that, Your Honor.
Okay, perfect. Do you have any response?
That's our understanding of the case law, Your Honor.
Okay, perfect. All right. Anything else from either side that we should talk about?
Not from us, Your Honor. We're good to go.
Okay, perfect. And just to clarify, I know objections are supposed to be short and sweet. I know in some jurisdictions you would clarify that you want them heard outside of the purview of the jury. We're going to assume they're all outside the purview of the jury, so you don't have to ask for that. We're just going to assume that that's what's happening. Okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Opening statement, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
May I proceed? Their love turned to love. It's New Year's Eve, 2025. And the defendant, Tristan Nichols, is feeling like the king of the world. And frankly, anyone can see why. You see, he's at the Amore Hotel, preparing for his New Year's Eve party, the party he's throwing with this multi-billion-dollar company. On the roof, waiters are pouring champagne. Staff, they're preparing fireworks. His personal assistant is on the phone preparing the private jet as they spoke. But in his arms, in the privacy of a hotel room, this defendant is holding the person he hopes he's going to kiss when the clock strikes 12. We're going to learn today that that person, well, it's not the one he promised to have and to hold till death do them part. It's not his wife of 4 years, no, it's the defendant's lover. One of the defendant's ex-boyfriends. The man he's having an affair with. We're going to learn that when the plaintiff, his wife, Ellie Bully, finds out about the defendant's lies, she divorces him. And that's why we're here. Now, today, the evidence is going to show that before Mr. Nichols and Miss Bully married, they signed what's called a prenuptial agreement. I have it in my hand right here. You see, normally, if they were to divorce, they both would leave the marriage only with the assets they came in with. But the thing is, this agreement, it has what's called a fidelity clause. It says that if either spouse cheats on the other, that agreement's invalid. The law says they have to split those marital assets right down the middle. Today we have the burden to prove to you by a preponderance of the evidence, meaning that it's more likely than not that Mr. Nichols broke that agreement, that he cheated on his wife. But the defendant's love turned to lies. We're going to meet that burden. And we're going to meet it by asking you to focus on two real simple facts: the love and the lies. So let's start with the love, because today you're going to meet the plaintiff, Miss Eli Bully. She's an artist right here in town. Now today we expect the defense is going to say that her marriage with Mr. Nichols, that it was a contract relationship, that it wasn't real. That from beginning to end, it wasn't real. She's going to take that witness stand today. And she's going to tell you, yes, it started out as a contract relationship. We're not going to hide that from you. But it did not stay that way. The evidence is going to show that they fell in love. That Mr. Nichols proposed, that she was happy, that they were happy. Until this defendant's love turned to lies. So that brings me to fact number 2, the lies. Because today you're also going to hear from a man named Gail Melky. The man the defendant was having an affair with. He's going to tell you that him and the defendant grew up together, that they used to date, but that this defendant left him because he said he was in love with Miss Bully. But you're going to learn Miss Bully's love wasn't enough for this defendant, that he chose to cheat on her. Members of the jury, I promise to stand by you. I want to build a family with you, a future with you. Those are the defendant's vows, he said to Miss Bully. The evidence is going to show that the defendant's love turned to lies. Miss Bully, she lost her marriage, she lost her future. But when this defense tries to say the relationship was fake, I want you to pay attention to what this defendant did, to what this defendant said before you walk through those courtroom doors. That's where we're going to ask you to find him liable. Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor. May I proceed?
You may.
It's not cheating if it wasn't real. Members of the jury, the plaintiff just got up here and they tried to paint a picture of a pretty complicated love affair in front of you all. The story's a lot simpler than that. Mr. Nichols, he didn't marry for love. The plaintiff didn't marry for love. And since there was no love, there was no lies, there was no affair. Because see, what the plaintiff didn't tell you is that for 5 years during that marriage, the two never kissed. In those 5 years during that marriage, the two, they never went on vacation, never went on dates, never said, I love you. Members of the jury, the evidence will show that's because this marriage, it was an arrangement between two parties to benefit their careers. That's why it's not cheating if it wasn't even real. That's why in this case, we've actually taken on our own burden in this case, an affirmative defense, to show you that in this marriage, this arrangement, it was a contract arrangement. What that means is this marriage, it wasn't about love. It was just about two parties getting together, drafting a contract to benefit themselves for reasons outside of love. We have a burden to prove this to you today by a preponderance of the evidence. That means just more likely than not. And the reason why that's important, members of the jury, is because that fidelity clause that you were just told about, members of the jury, it does not matter. Because the marriage was never real to begin with. We're going to meet our burden today by proving to you two things. First, this marriage, it did start as a contract, like the plaintiff was telling you. And second, the marriage stayed as a contract. Let's take those one by one. We'll start with the first fact, that this marriage, it started as a contract. Now we're going to be calling the plaintiff's closest friend, Ash Sanders. And you're going to learn that the plaintiff understood why they were getting into this marriage, that they wanted to get married, and not for love, because they wanted to help their career. And then you're going to learn why they're even here to begin with. Not love, money. Because if the plaintiff says that Mr. Nichols was cheating, well, that's how they could invalidate this prenup and walk away with billions. Now, the plaintiff a moment ago told you that this marriage, it became a marriage of love. Well, that actually brings me to my second fact. Marriage stayed a contract. Members of the jury, you're going to meet Mr. Nichols today. And he's going to tell you his side of the story, why he entered into this marriage to begin with. Also for his career. Because he wanted to become CEO of his company. He wasn't shy about the truth. It's something that the plaintiff wanted. Mr. Nichols is going to tell you that during that marriage, they never loved each other. He cared about her. But they both understood this wasn't about love. And Mr. Nichols is going to tell you that in that relationship, both parties, they did see other people. Because they understood this marriage was not real. It was about helping their careers. And look, members of the jury, marriage doesn't always have to be about love. That's fine. But then the plaintiff can't come here today and try to change the story to try to walk away with money. That's why you're here today. And that's why we're asking you that at the end of this trial, to hold this prenup as valid. Because it's not cheating if it's not real. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Plaintiff, I'll let you call your first witness.
Yes, Your Honor. The plaintiff calls Gail Melky to the stand.
All right. And for sake of efficiency, your witness, you're well, you can get up, move, do what you need to do. Other side, if you need to get up and move, that's perfectly fine too.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
Ma'am,
You may.
good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Could you introduce yourself to the court, please?
Sure. Hi, my name is Gail Melky.
What do you do for work?
I'm trying to be an actor. You know, auditioned for a lot, heard back from some, got a none. It's been hard.
How have those rejections impacted you?
It hasn't gotten easier. I think at a certain point you get used to auditioning for roles you're not going to get. You know, you're never the lead, you're the backup. I think at a certain point you stop asking for the spotlight and just start hoping for a line.
Mr. Melky, do you know why you're here today testifying in court?
Yeah. I think all my life I auditioned to be chosen. And when I finally was, I was cast as the villain in my own relationship. That's why I'm here. Tell you how I got that role.
I'd like to talk to you about your relationship with a person named Tristan Nichols. Do you know Mr. Nichols?
I do, yeah. Our families grew up together. We were in the same circles.
Growing up together, how would you describe your relationship with him?
He had that energy that just made me feel safe. You know, I don't know. I'd always kind of felt overlooked as a kid, but with Tristan, I mean, it was just easy. I mean, there we were 17, we were 18, and it kind of felt like the whole world was at our fingertips, you know?
You just mentioned Mr. Nichols didn't make you feel overlooked. Did that ever change?
Yeah. One night, Tristan said he had fallen in love with someone else. You know, I spent my whole career around this idea of being told no, and I thought I was pretty good at it, but it turns out no callback in the world prepares you for watching someone you love marry someone over you.
So when Mr. Nichols told you he was in love with another person, what did you do?
I did what I did best. I acted. I acted like someone who moved on.
I want to talk about if that performance, that act, ever changed.
Sure.
Did you ever rekindle that relationship with the defendant?
Yeah. Around Valentine's Day, 2025, I was at a film premiere, not my own, obviously, and you know, I remember Tristan was outside. He was smoking a cigarette, alone.
So you saw the defendant outside smoking a cigarette. Did you go and talk to him?
No, I turned the other way. I want to be very clear about that. I want nothing to do with Tristan, but then Tristan stopped me and he gave me this hug. And so I asked Tristan how he was doing, you know, just trying to be polite. And then Tristan asked me how I was doing. Tristan never did that. No, I don't remember even what I said. I just remember thinking he asked.
Did you see Mr. Nichols again after that night?
Yeah. Slowly, coffee, harmless. Sometimes Tristan would complain about his marriage with Eli. Just old friends catching up, right? And then sometimes we would go on trips. And then eventually we started calling for hours, especially when Tristan said Eli was out of town. And I noticed he mentioned that a lot. And I never asked myself why that mattered to me so much.
You told us the two of you were acting like old friends. Was that the extent of your relationship with him?
Yes. Trips, conversations, that was it. I kept telling myself nothing's happened. Nothing has to happen. We're friends, right? This is how friends act. A line I'd rehearsed so many times in my head that maybe if I said it one more time, it'd sound like the truth. And then last August, that line stopped working.
What happened?
We kissed. Once. And then again. And a whole night went by and we didn't stop.
What happened after that?
For 6 months, it felt like the best 6 months of my life. And then last New Year's, we went off script. You see, Tristan told me he wanted to marry me.
When the defendant told you he wanted to marry you, how did you react?
For a second, it felt like everything I ever wanted. I finally got the lead. The part, the one where someone finally chooses you first. And then in a split second, it didn't feel like that at all.
Why not?
My parents' marriage ended in a divorce. It was an affair. There was another man, and I promised myself a long time ago that I wasn't going to be him. Right? That I would never be the reason somebody lives through that. And then suddenly, without realizing it, I was. But not in a single moment I could point to slowly, one plane trip at a time, one nothing's happened at a time. Until all of a sudden I was standing in the middle of the very thing that kid swore he'd never do. And that's when I reached out to Eli.
What did you tell her?
Everything. Because I couldn't keep playing a part I hated. All my life I wanted to be the one. And the moment I finally was, I think I realized, maybe for the first time in my whole life, that some parts you don't want. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Melky. Nothing further.
Cross, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
Sir, on direct, you said you were part of an affair, right?
Right?
You called this infidelity,
Yes.
a secret you were keeping.
Yes.
Lies you were telling. Those are the words you use.
Right.
I want to see if we can figure out if these are lies or part of a deal. All right, sir?
Okay.
Because like you told us, you came clean to the plaintiff, didn't you?
That's right.
You sat her down.
Right. I told her everything that happened.
That's right, you told her every detail about this, right?
Yeah, all the late nights we'd spend, the kissing, the cards, all of it.
And as you're talking about it right now, she seems pretty upset, doesn't she?
She does?
That was a very different tune the first time you told her, wasn't it?
I'm not sure what you mean.
She didn't seem surprised at all, did she, sir?
Well, no.
She didn't seem upset at all, did she, sir?
No, it looked like she saw it coming.
I want to make sure that we get her exact words right, because you remember she told you she was disappointed that Mr. Nichols couldn't keep the deal going on longer. That's what she said.
That's right.
And I want to talk about why we didn't hear about that on direct examination. Because, sir, you're no stranger to performing in front of an audience, are you?
Did a few regional community theater shows. Ratatouille 2, Sous Chef Boogaloo, all of them.
Sir, don't sell yourself short. You told us over and over on direct examination, you're an actor.
Guilty. Poor choice of words, sorry.
Sir, you're an actor, true?
Yeah,
You tell stories for a living, don't you?
I try to. You know, they don't always pay so well, but yeah.
And when you started acting, you made a deal with Tristan Nichols, right?
I'm sorry, can you clarify?
Of course I can, sir. You wanted to boost your acting career, right?
Of course.
Wanted to finally get into the spotlight, true?
Yeah,
That happened while you were with him.
that's right.
Now that you're not with him, your career has gone south, hasn't it?
Well, yeah.
Haven't booked anything in the last year.
Nope. Not a lot in Los Angeles these days.
That is your main stream of income, isn't it, sir?
Right.
You were pretty upset at him for that breakup, weren't you?
Yeah, I love Tristan.
And the truth is, you are excited to be in front of these cameras today, aren't you?
Not really, it's a divorce case, sir.
Sir, when you heard that this trial was going to be televised, you wanted to testify, didn't you?
Right, I wanted to help.
You wanted to get back in front of the cameras. Those are your words.
Yeah, I wanted to help.
Okay, so then I want to see if we can figure out together why the plaintiff decided to call you. Because you don't like this man very much, do you?
Not after what happened. No.
Back when you were dating, you would only ever see each other on predetermined dates, true?
Right.
You thought he was disinterested in you.
Yeah. Part of me did, and some part of me thought he may come back around.
To you, it seemed like he was incapable of loving anything but his company, right?
Yeah.
He even told you he was only dating you because his parents gave him an ultimatum, right?
Yeah.
Then he broke up with you.
Tristan ended it.
You did not take that well.
No.
What you would do is you would buy up magazines off the shelf that had his face on it, right?
Right. I'd take him to my backyard and I would burn them.
You would sit in your backyard and burn magazines of his face?
Tristan was my first love. I was hurt.
I'm not asking if he was your first love, sir. I'm asking what you did. And you burned magazines of his face after he broke up with you, true?
Yeah.
Then you spent every single night wishing that him and his new wife would die.
Yes.
I want to make sure that we have your words very clear, because you hope that they would meet the same fate as Romeo and Juliet, right?
Right.
Double suicide.
Right.
You wanted him to end up like Jack and Rose,
Right.
drowned on the Titanic.
Right.
Kennedy and Bissett, remind me, that's a plane crash, isn't it?
Right.
You said that if you ever saw Mr. Nichols again, you would get your revenge, right?
After everything Tristan did, I said that when I was hurt 4 years ago, you're right.
Sir, I'm not asking about 4 years ago. I'm asking about your sworn statement from last month. You said you would get revenge, right?
No, I said that 4 years ago, sir.
You told us in your sworn statement you swore you would get revenge, true?
That I said that 4 years ago.
If you ever saw him again, right?
Right.
You can see him sitting over there today.
I can.
Pass the witness.
Plaintiff,
Redirect?
can you redirect? Yep, go ahead.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Nichols, I want to talk, excuse me, Mr. Melky, I want to talk a little bit more about why you're in front of us testifying today. Are you here because you volunteered to be here?
I was subpoenaed.
Did you say you were subpoenaed for the members of the jury?
Yes.
So are you testifying voluntarily, or were you compelled by the court?
I was required.
Did you want to be here?
It would have been the first choice.
Thank you, Mr. Melky. Nothing further.
Can you recross?
No recross, Your Honor.
May the witness step down?
You may. Thank you for your time, Mr. Melky.
Thanks.
And my understanding is we're now gonna have the defense call their witness, okay?
Yes,
Go
sir.
ahead.
Defense calls Ash Sanders instead.
Okay. I didn't say this earlier, but we're also assuming everyone's already sworn in, so we're assuming he's sworn.
Yes, Your Honor. Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Could you please introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi. My name is Ash Sanders.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Sanders?
Right now I'm a freelancer by trade, but I actually started working full-time for the Nichols Group.
You work for Mr. Nichols?
I do. Yes, sir.
Let's make something clear. If you're working for him, are you choosing to be here today?
No. Actually, I tried my best to stay out of this whole thing,
Why?
because I know both of them. You know, Eli, she was my best friend, and Tristan's my boss. It's kind of a hard situation to be in, to say the least.
As someone who knew both of them, can you tell us what their relationship was like?
Sure, I mean, I can tell you what I know at least.
Let's take that one step at a time.
Sure, yeah.
Let's start with your relationship with the plaintiff. Can you tell us how that started?
I can. Eli and I grew up together. You know, we're friends all throughout school. Hell, even in the summers, you know, we just hang around the apartment complex playing the sprinklers and hang out.
Did you keep up?
We did, yeah. Yeah. You know, we both stayed in town after the graduation. She tried to go to art school, but she couldn't afford it. So I was working freelance jobs. I tried my best, you know, help find ways to make quick money. We supported each other, or, you know, I would support her.
Did you ever become more than friends?
No.
Why is that?
Eli met Tristan.
When?
Back in December of 2021, I think it was.
What was their relationship like?
Well, Eli, when she would tell me about it, she said that Tristan was interesting, but just a business partner. I asked her what she meant, and, you know, she said that she knew what she was getting out of her relationship with him. I was shocked, you know, when they started dating and then they got engaged. I mean, everything's happened so fast.
What was your relationship like with the plaintiff when they got engaged?
It changed. Because Eli changed. She started flaking on me and started wearing these expensive clothes because she said she needed to look good for the photos and her artwork. I mean, it started getting into galleries. And, you know, I always thought that she was great, of course. But before Tristan, I mean, she couldn't get her artwork anywhere. I don't know. I don't know.
So, what did you do when you heard about all these great things happening to the plaintiff?
I tried to act happy for her.
Were you?
I wasn't, and I did the stupidest thing I probably could have done.
What did you do?
I told her that I loved her.
Do you?
Yeah. I mean, even right now, she won't even look at me, and I do.
What did the plaintiff say?
She said, I love you too, Ash. But not in the way that you want me to. And I said, sorry. I sound stupid.
What about Mr. Nichols? Did she ever tell Mr. Nichols that she loved him?
I'm sorry, but no.
Objection, Blacker Foundation.
Sustained.
Did you
Motion
ever
to strike.
Granted.
Did you ever hear her tell Mr. Nichols that she loved him?
No. She never told me that she loved you.
Did the two of you talk after that?
No. No, it wasn't until about a year later, I think, when she was, you know, about to sign the prenup for the marriage. And she wanted me to review it, you know, just like friends do. And I was insulted, of course, that this was going to be the first conversation that we had, but I missed her.
What did that conversation look like?
It was awkward, to say the least. I tried to be nice. I asked about her relationship, her marriage, and she said that marriage was basically a contract anyway. This, coming from the person that had her wedding planned out since forever, I was taken back.
So then, after she was married to Mr. Nichols, did the two of you see each other?
We did. Yeah. She started calling me in the middle of the night to complain about him. And eventually those phone calls turned into her coming over to my place.
What did the two of you do?
We'd share a bottle of wine that she brought. And we talked for hours about everything. You know, money, work, a marriage, all of it.
Hold on, you talked about her finances after the marriage?
Yeah. But this one night, I was working on her computer because mine was broken, and I saw this folder labeled prenup. I clicked on it, and it had hundreds of files in it. I asked her what she was doing with all of it, and she just said that she wanted to be prepared.
You prepared?
Yeah, she said that Mary and Tristan was a mistake. And that if I could find evidence of him cheating, she could go around the prenup, you know, get some of his money and walk away.
Did you help her?
I did. I did, yeah. I quit my job. I started looking for a new one so I could get closer to Tristan, and I did. I was his personal bartender. I would fly everywhere around the world with him, and it was horrible. To walk into work every day and see the man that had everything that I ever wanted. It killed me, but honestly, I would do it again for you. I would do anything for you.
Did you find any evidence of cheating?
No! And I told her that.
What did she say?
Well, she blew up at me. She started screaming. She said that I was trying to hide stuff from her so that she couldn't get any money in the divorce and would have to come crawling back to me, hiding stuff from her. Me? After everything that I had done to make her happy, after every sacrifice I made, after everything, she had the audacity to say that. All she could talk about was the money, and it was sick. I mean, this whole thing is sick. Just fighting over millions? God. I didn't know what to say. I didn't recognize her anymore. I left. I walked out.
Thank you for your time. Pass the witness.
Cross.
Go ahead.
Mr. Sanders, you're in love with my client. Yes?
Yeah.
You've been in love with her for a while.
I have.
It started in high school, right?
Yeah, that's when I first realized that, it was more.
The two of you came up with a sort of agreement, a pact, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I forgot I wrote about that, yeah. You said that if we both made it to 40, that we would marry each other.
How old are you?
22.
So you've still got time, right?
A lot, I guess.
I want to talk about what you might do to make that pact a reality. It's like you mentioned, you've known my client, Ms. Bully, for a while.
Yes, sir, I have.
The two of you went to high school together, she went off to art school for a semester, and then you both ended up back in Morocco.
We did.
And you noticed my client, well, she was struggling financially.
She was.
I mean, she was in some serious trouble, right, Mr. Sanders?
Yes, sir, I bailed her out a couple of times, paid some bills that she couldn't.
Hold on, not bailed her out a couple times. You started picking up extra shifts to pay my client's bills.
She needed the help, I was there.
You asked for overtime to keep her lights on.
I did.
You were there for my client, weren't you?
Always.
And you loved her then, didn't you?
I did.
You loved her so much that one day in December of 2021, you decided, that's it, I have to confess.
Yeah, it was after she told me about her engagement.
Mr. Sanders, in December 2021, you decided to confess to my client, well before her engagement.
Oh, you mean the night of the gala?
That's right. Before her engagement, in December 2021, that was the first time you decided to confess your feelings to my client. I have that right, don't I?
Yes, sir, sorry, I misunderstood. I got her some flowers, her favorite peonies.
Right. You set up a nice night for the two of you, didn't you?
Nice is a bit of an exaggeration. We would just go into an old diner that we loved.
You were going to the diner that you frequently ate at.
We did.
You brought her flowers.
I did.
But see, earlier that night, she met someone. She met Tristan Nichols.
Yeah.
My client didn't come to the diner that night.
No.
You were left there with your flowers, your dinner, alone.
I was.
You were hurt.
Of course.
You were frustrated.
Absolutely.
You were embarrassed.
How could I not be?
You were jealous.
I was.
And you stayed jealous, didn't you?
I did.
See, my client and you stayed in contact even after that night, didn't you?
little bit, yeah.
And you know she stayed in contact with Tristan Nichols.
That's right, she would tell me about him.
She would call you every time she was done seeing him, wouldn't she?
Yes.
And every call felt like you were being stabbed in the chest.
You're right.
Sometimes when my client would talk about Tristan Nichols, she seemed so happy, didn't she?
In the beginning, yeah, she
She
did.
seemed happier than you had ever seen her before.
You could say that.
She seemed happier than she was with you.
Well, she was never with me.
Mr. Nichols, you've known my client much longer than she'd known, excuse me, Mr. Sanders, you've known my client much longer than she'd known Tristan Nichols, haven't you?
Yes, sir.
But when she was talking about him, she seemed happier than ever before.
At the beginning, that's definitely true.
Mr. Sanders, you used to pay her bills.
I did.
You used to pay to keep her lights on.
Yeah.
And now she was walking into your apartment with bags of designer clothes, wasn't she?
Yeah, she
Designer clothes courtesy of Tristan Nichols.
was. Yes, sir.
You were hurt.
Of course.
You were embarrassed.
Yeah, I couldn't provide that for her.
You were jealous.
I was.
And then one day she told you she was getting engaged.
You're right.
And again, you felt that stabbing feeling in your chest.
Yeah, she was beaten.
So you confessed to my client again.
Yeah.
You told her you
Objection, Your
loved-
Honor. I just asked that the witness be allowed to finish his answer.
Your Honor, I believe he said yeah. I didn't hear anything else, but I'm happy to let him finish.
Okay, sure. Yeah, all right, go ahead and, let the witness finish if he wasn't, and, so you can go ahead and continue.
Yes, Your Honor. So you told my client you loved her that day, right?
I did.
And she told you she didn't love you the same way
Yeah.
because she chose someone else.
You're right.
She chose Tristan Nichols.
She did.
She chose rich Tristan Nichols over you.
She did.
And then she got married.
Yeah.
You couldn't bring yourself to go to the wedding.
Oh, I couldn't afford it.
It would have been too much.
Well, of course.
But you saw it on the news.
Yeah, it was the biggest event, and everybody was talking about it.
You saw the photos.
I did.
You saw the videos.
Yeah,
You saw the live camera footage.
I did.
You saw my client in her wedding dress.
Yeah.
You saw him.
I did.
You saw them walk down the aisle together.
Yes, sir.
You saw them stand under that wedding arch.
Yeah.
You watched their lips meet.
Yeah, it's typically what happens.
You watched them kiss.
Yes.
And your heart broke.
Yeah, it was real.
But there's a way to fix things today, isn't there?
I'm not sure what you mean by that.
Well, you believe that if my client does not prevail, she will be left with nothing.
Maybe.
Is it your testimony that you don't believe my client will be left with nothing if she doesn't prevail?
Sure, I don't know how these things work.
Your Honor, I'm approaching opposing counsel and the witness in turn with a copy of his affidavit. This is page 10, lines 333 through 334. I'm approaching the witness. Oh, excuse me, Your Honor, do you have that binder up there with you?
I do.
May I take it from the bench?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Sanders, I'll flip to your affidavit for you. There you go.
Thank you.
That's your affidavit, right?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna interrupt you just for a moment to defer my bailiff for a minute.
That's time. Do
Okay.
you,
Your Honor, may I finish this impeachment?
You may, but let's, make it brief.
Yeah.
Of course. Your name on the back, right?
Sorry. I really do apologize. I'm not trying to. Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's mine.
You agree with me it's an accurate copy?
Far as I can tell, yeah.
You should be able to pause around there, page 10,
I'm there.
lines 333 through 335. Read silently as I read aloud. Maybe if Eli loses this trial and loses everything, then I will be the only person left for Eli to turn to. That would be nice.
Yes,
Just like old times.
That's what I said.
Did I read that correctly?
Objection, Your Honor, to an improper impeachment at this time, if I may be heard.